Straight ahead on Vallo Vision News, you can expect to see more ride-sharing services throughout the state thanks to a bill signed by Governor Kay Ivey. Find out when Uber and Lyft will be able to operate statewide.
Plus, e-cigs might not be the perfect alternative to cigarettes after all. They could actually be putting your heart health at risk.
And the Oscar goes to Hollywood's biggest night was one for the history books. And we've got all the highlights. Vallo Vision News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Vallo Vision News. I'm Monique O'Neill.
And I'm Andy Smith. Thanks so much for joining us.
There's a local connection to the suicide that happened outside the White House over the weekend. Investigators have identified the man as 26-year-old Cameron Ross Burgess of Maylene, which is between Vallo and Alabaster. Officials say Burgess pulled out a gun and fired several rounds outside the north fence of the White House before fatally shooting himself. None of the shots seemed to be aimed at the White House. The president and his wife were in Florida at the time of the incident.
The 53rd Annual Bridge Crossing Jubilee was held in Selma Sunday and drawing a crowd of thousands. Reporter George McDonald has our story.
The Bridge Crossing March reenactment, to many people, is the single most powerful event of the Jubilee.
Just an experience to tell my grandchildren that I came here just to be a part and to walk across the bridge too.
They say the march over the historic Edmund Pettus Bridge allows them to connect with the men and women who were beaten and bloodied in the fight for voting rights more than 50 years ago.
It seemed like by seeing it and looking at the buildings around, you can still feel that spirit, still trying to fight for equality and other things, and still seeing people in unity here. It's awesome.
Mary Tyson Green of Montgomery says she's walked across the bridge before, and she says every time she does it, it's special.
Every time it gives you a vibe, every time I do it, and just the thought of coming down here and meeting family down here and doing it together and seeing so many other people from really all over the country do the walk or do the crossing. So it's just very moving.
That was George McDonald reporting. The Jubilee included more than 40 separate events that commemorate the Selma voting rights movement.
Governor Kay Ivey signed a bill into law last Thursday that allows ride-sharing companies like Uber and Lyft to operate statewide. Alabama is the 45th state to pass ride-sharing legislation. Currently, Uber and Lyft run in Alabama's urban centers under city laws. Ivey says the law would mobilize visitors and Alabamians, especially in rural areas. She also says it would create job opportunities and give a boost to local economies. The new law goes into effect on July 1st. Coming up in this week's Health Minute, your health insurance could pay for your next ride to the doctor's office with the new Uber Health ride-sharing services.
Roy Moore is asking supporters to help fund his legal expenses. The former judge lost a special election for an Alabama Senate seat in December after several women accused him of sexual misconduct. One of those women is Lee Kaufman, who says Moore touched her sexually in 1979 when she was 14 years old. Moore publicly denied the allegations. Kaufman responded by filing a defamation lawsuit. She is not seeking damages, but wants a public apology. Moore's Senate's campaign Facebook claims it could cost him more than $100,000 to fight the case. President Trump's proposed tariffs on steel and aluminum has sent shockwaves through the markets around the globe, sparked criticism by European allies, and raised concerns from members of his own Republican Party.
But on Monday morning, the president suggested there are conditions under which he'd lift those tariffs. Karen Kafa has the latest.
Trump downplaying trade war concerns Monday.
I don't think you're going to have a trade war now.
And using steel and aluminum tariffs as a bargaining chip.
If we don't make a deal, I'll terminate NAFTA. But if I do make a deal which is fair to the workers and to the American people, That would be, I would imagine, one of the points that we'll negotiate. It will be tariffs on steel for Canada and for Mexico.
Trump's tariff talk, a proposed 25% hike on U.S. steel imports and 10% on aluminum, throwing a wrench in already complicated renegotiations around NAFTA, a target of Trump since the campaign trail. Other allies in Europe in particular have also expressed dismay, threatening to hit back with their own tariffs, sparking trade war worries.
The idea of engaging in a trade war that could do real damage to the American economy, that could hurt our allies and the kind of geopolitical situation between the United States and its allies. This is not a well thought out policy prescription.
Even House Speaker Paul Ryan's office warned of potential economic damage, saying in a statement, "We are extremely worried about the consequences of a trade war and are urging the White House to not advance with this plan." But in states where steel and aluminum were once economic backbones, there's support.
I appreciate and respect the president's throwing it on the table and throwing the gauntlet down because of this. In West Virginia, we've lost thousands and thousands of jobs.
While the tariffs are intended to give U.S. steel and aluminum companies a boost, they could hurt other U.S. manufacturers who will have to spend more for those materials. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
We've got 2 important recalls to tell you about.
Instant Pots, sold exclusively at Walmart, are being voluntarily recalled after reports of the product overheating and melting. Take a look at the batch code on the bottom of your Instant Pot. If you have the Gem 65 8-in-1 model, you should immediately stop using it. Instant Pots can be returned to Walmart for a free replacement.
And baby product company Graco is recalling one of its high chairs after 5 children sitting in it tipped over. The table-to-table 6-in-1 high chair was sold exclusively at Walmart stores between October of 2016 and this past December. The issue is with a rear leg that can turn out of position and cause the chair to fall. Graco is advising owners to stop using the chair immediately. Customers who would contact the company will receive a free repair kit.
On top of helping kids build a fantastic Lego sculptures, the Lego Group will now help build a greener future. The company is launching sustainable plant-based Lego pieces this year. The pieces are made of particles including leaves, bushes, trees, and materials sourced from sugarcane. The company says it's a first step in their plan to use sustainable materials in all core products and packaging by 2030.
City of Montevallo is doing its part to keep the city green. The Montevallo Chamber of Commerce is hosting an electronics recycling event Saturday, March 17th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. The event will be held at Montevallo Recycling Center. They will be accepting most electronics, including computers and appliances. However, they will not be accepting TVs at this time. There is a complete list of accepted items listed on their website under the Special Events tab.
UM students will soon have an opportunity to get free professional clothing to wear on job interviews. The annual Dress for Success event is next Monday, March 12th. Students can come and shop between noon and 5 p.m. at the Glowco building behind Napier Hall. Dress for Success is sponsored by Phi Chi Theta, the Office of Service Learning, and the Career Development Center.
Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages.
Just search for Vallo Vision News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more stories throughout the week. Still ahead on Vallo Vision News, see how lawmakers want to make it easier to call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline.
And a new study about selfies will change the way you look at yourself. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Vallo Vision News. In this week's health headlines, more and more people are using e-cigarettes to kick the habit.
But a new study shows vaping may not work. Mary Maloney explains in today's Health Minute.
For
15 years, e-cigarettes have been billed as a safer alternative to traditional cigarettes. But a study found e-cigs can make it harder to quit smoking. And in most cases, people end up vaping and smoking. The study also found daily e-cig use can double the risk of heart attack. If you are a dual user, that is vaping and smoking cigarettes every day, the combined risk for heart attack goes up 5 times. E-cigs have lower levels of carcinogens than cigarettes, but researchers say the electronic versions have other toxins that can have detrimental effects, like increased cardiovascular and lung disease risks. If you are a smoker, here's something you could do right now. Stop. Scientists say stopping smoking immediately drops your risk for heart attack. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
A new report says 1 in 14 women smoke while pregnant. The percentage of pregnant smokers vary widely by maternal age, race, education, and state. Smoking during pregnancy puts a baby at risk for birth defects and can cause a baby to be born too early or to have low birth weight. It can also raise the risk of stillbirth or sudden infant death syndrome. The study was done by the Center for Disease Control's National Center for Health Statistics.
Uber can now help patients get to their doctor's appointments on the provider's dime. Every year, millions of Americans miss medical appointments because they don't have transportation. These missed appointments cost the medical system more than $150 billion a year. So Uber Health is partnering with healthcare providers to schedule rides for patients. So far, more than 100 healthcare organizations are on board, including hospitals, rehab centers, senior care facilities, and physical therapy centers.
A new national mental health and suicide prevention hotline could be in the works. Congress is considering a bill to create a 3-digit suicide prevention phone number. It will replace the current hotline 1-800-273-TALK, which some people say is hard to remember, especially for those experiencing an emergency. Studies show when people use the hotline, the risk of suicide sharply drops. 2 million people called the crisis line last year.
Turning to entertainment news, Hollywood celebrated its 90th annual Academy Awards Sunday night, and as the Academy looked back at its legacy, it also looked to the future with an emphasis on diversity in Hollywood.
Natasha Chen shows us the historic moments from this year's Oscars.
While the Best Director and Best Picture honors went to Shape of Water?
The Shape of Water.
Yes, Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway made sure that was the right envelope this time. It was Frances McDormand.
If I may be so honored to have all the female nominees in every category stand with me.
Who created the moment Hollywood will talk about, not just because she won Best Actress for her work in 3 Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, but because she called on entertainment executives to turn the Me Too movement into tangible results.
Everybody look around, ladies and gentlemen, because we all have stories to tell and projects we need financed.
Her fellow cast member Sam Rockwell took home Best Supporting Actor. Gary Oldman's portrayal of Winston Churchill in Darkest Hour earned him the Best Lead Actor award. Allison Janney won Best Supporting Actress for her role in I, Tonya. And Jordan Peele made history as the first black artist to win Best Original Screenplay for his social thriller Get Out.
I thought no one would ever make this movie.
Political themes were pervasive throughout the night.
To all the dreamers out there, we stand with you.
They even made it into a musical performance.
Tell the NRA they in God's way. And to the people of Parkland, we say Ashe.
Still, host Jimmy Kimmel made sure to balance those moments, like with the promise of a jet ski to the winner giving the shortest speech.
Costume designer Mark Bridges, bring it out.
He and Helen Mirren delivered on that promise. In Los Angeles, I'm Natasha Chen reporting.
James Ivory also made history as the oldest Oscar winner ever. The 89-year-old won Best Adapted Screenplay for Call Me By Your Name. This year's Oscars broadcast also made history for having the smallest TV audience. 26.5 million people tuned in last night. That's a 20% drop from last year. And it was another big weekend at the box office for Black Panther. The blockbuster was #1 for the third weekend in a row, earning an estimated $65.7 million. The movie is now the third fastest film to make over $500 million domestically. It brought in about $501 million in just 17 days, tying with Jurassic World and just 1 day slower than Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And we won't have to wait as long as to see the Black Panther on the big screen again. Disney is moving the U.S. release date for Avengers: Infinity War up to a week to April 27th. The movie will now be released on the same day worldwide. The Marvel Studios and Disney film brings together an all-star cast of superheroes, including the Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Captain America, just to name a few. Finally, this week, if you're considering a nose job, you shouldn't use a selfie to help you make that final decision. According to a new study, selfies apparently lie when it comes to nose size, making your nose appear about 30% larger than it actually is.
Researchers say the effect occurs when a selfie is taken at a distance of about 12 inches from the face. However, when the picture is taken from a distance of 5 feet, the distortion isn't nearly as significant. So, selfies and nose sizes. I'm gonna cover my nose every time I take a selfie now. So, no more noses.
I don't really take selfies, so.
What?
I don't like stand-up pictures. See, this is why I don't like selfies. See, now I'm gonna have to look at my nose all the time.
Well, you know, they supposedly have like a health benefit selfies. So, might want to get in on that.
That's all the time we have for today's show. Remember, there's more campus and community news on our website.
Just head over to vallovisionnews.wordpress.com to see more stories from mass communication student reporters throughout the week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in to Vallo Vision News again next week.